Okay, good morning, everyone. My name is FAJRul Majid. I'm from the first speaker of the opposed team from the delegation of Purbalingga. And let me start my speech in three, two, one. Every efficiency that we can take need cost for it so that for profit AI is the realistic campaign. So please oppose. First, I'm going to take you to the rebuttal first from all of the things that already stated by the proposed team. Firstly, if AI transitions into for-profit, there will be a lack of pro-socialness and people will lost their job if OpenAI transform into for-profit structure. But notice panels, the other side of the table doesn't really present exclusivity urge because at the end of the day, humans' job right now will be replaced by AI if human could not shift toward how the modernization go and the social grow. But we cannot also said that there will be no chance for humanity. Proposed space will still need to deal on how they could manage the incentive of humanity itself to grow and be efficient by AI. Notice on how hard does the AI develop, hence it needs almost 1 decade from 2015 until right now so that they could restructure into for-profit company. So for the start of the invention itself, they doesn't even think about how to make it for profit. But the structure itself will come as 1 decade of involving. And panels notice why in the early 2000 when near cable internet first implemented, people in the status quo were most likely to cheer towards it. They cheering themselves to be the part of the modernization itself and for future brightness, right? So why do we need to argue about the future brightness in this and saying that right now the AI problem is this disaster? It rather a shifting forward than a sinking deep, right? And people will still lose their job. Why we started this? Because we need to shift after humanity. We need to shift. We shift every single decade, like what I said, that the early 2000 and maybe the 1900 era, where people just shifting their job. We cannot like having our side on the people that are already so idealism and so kept and saying that, oh yeah, this is what or I can do and I want to do this. We as a people need to be realistic on how we need and how we're capable into it, how is our incentives. We as the human want have the incentive to grow better, right? Every single year that is happened is there will be implementation of grow inside it, and we cannot position ourselves as the one who is get harm towards what AI was really happening right now. And the structure of for profit is the one who's really going to help us. Why? Because as the proposed have stated, the AI use right now was very harmful, right? Sora was used to be to get deepfakes videos towards celebrity, for example. But that is what we need to make it for a profit because AI right now is too available for everyone. And moving to the second rebuttal, that they said that let's integrate towards AI. So that's why it is necessary today to increase the exclusivity towards AI use because everybody available to AI that as they stated the sort of use for deepfake or maybe ChatGPT use for doing tasks or maybe even the easiest tasks they use ChatGPT to do it or maybe Gemini and and every single AI use were made to make humanity better, but the availability itself that is the one who is harmful because people were trying to get the easiest shortcut into their job. And the availability of AI was making them rude and just lazy to think harder and lazy to have contribute harder. And new field AI, therefore, it needs more people that are capable to handle it, right? Such as maybe programmer, for example. So maybe in the next decade, people were losing their job, maybe such as like for like animators, and that is the example of how modernization would do towards humanity because it is something that we could not dodge because it is the reality itself on how the life works. And people wouldn't lose their job fully. People will shift, as I just saw. Maybe or even the waiters. Maybe in the next decade will be replaced by the robot AI, because that is how the world does. And talking about investor, therefore individuals will tend to invest in company that use exclusive AI, because there will be less human error, less throwout, and more good product. And by having AI that is exclusive on just like a per company, and not every company have that, maybe investor will think that, oh, this company is more efficient and it's more trust, because they use AI that is exclusive. Not everybody can use AI, and so that's why the exclusivity was the one we're trying to aiming for. And let me help the proposed to set up, because they didn't set up a few points that I want to say. First, how is the characterization in the status quo? People nowadays were literally taught taking AI throughout their whole life needs, such as maybe like the students 2.0 for animating, or maybe the ChatGPT, as I said before, for doing school tasks, but doesn't always get uh, helped by the general society. It's AI also get relied by the big company. Maybe like Toyota needs AI to to calculate how was the weight of the cars itself, so that it will be aerodynamics and other stuff. And but notice panel, the easy availability is the one who makes AI harmful for the environment. As I said before, employees were replacing themselves. They are the one who's making their job lost, because by taking all their job involved by AI. And this case were happening in the proposed space. They really stand with how the quality of employment itself decreased day after day, because AI lower qualities employees, less productivities, less good product, and bad result. We can easily reverse the proposed insult towards us, because they literally trying to get out from the environment by growing the problem itself. But on our side of the house, the mechanisms are already there since the first place. By making effort profit, there will be why this that the company making AI for profit, because they are hard development need humanity to shift, and humanity needs to shift to make our root grow better, and our daily life grow better, and we can involve to be better, and we need to shift ourselves so that we can implement on how the world works. And second, how status quo handle problem? The status quo really cannot handle problem, because that's why people are relying on AI, and that's why there are so many campaigns that talking about AI is harmful. Moving to my argument first, how the transition of the profit AI were made to increase exclusivity, so that we could dodge the harmful of AI itself. So by this mechanism, the solution towards the problem that proposed take is the one who is happening on our side, because the solution itself, by making AI for profit, people were hardly to get how the AI present to us from the early years that happening right now. And weighing educators. Firstly, the sustainability is not happening in the proposed space, and it's happening on our side, because we're trying to make borders towards what people were doing right now with AI, what people would implement with AI right now. And by that reason, please oppose.